Okay, Fagrie, obviously the standard of Al Ahly and Zamalek is very high in African football, considered one of the best. But what is like the notion from your teammates and even people in Egypt of Sundowns, like the quality of Sundowns? Do they speak of them often, for example?
Yeah, like Sundowns, they just won this, what's it called?
AFL.
AFL. And even before, they've been doing well, won Champions League before. So in football, if you're doing well, you'll be recognized. And especially in a country like Egypt, people are passionate about football, they love football. So yes, they do speak about Sundowns. And if you talk about one of the best teams in Africa at the moment, it's Sundowns. And for us as a club, Pyramids, coming from Egypt with the history of Zamalek and Al Ahly, like I feel for us as players, it's more motivation because Pyramids, it's like 5 years, 6 years old now. So for us being part of the club, we want to do something good. We want to be part of the history of the club and build something good for the club as players. So I think that's motivation for us enough to want to be successful and do something good for the club.
And for you, and Fagrie, despite your talent and even your consistency, you've really struggled in terms of settling and finding like a home in terms of whether it's Santos, Super Sports. There's always been that, like, do you think that Pyramids can be that place where you settle and you enjoy your football, and what would sort of make it a home where you can settle?
For me, no, I feel at home. I feel it's only been like will be 2 years in Jan. So, but since the first day I arrived, I feel they welcome me well. They adapted well. So I feel definitely for me, I would like to. This is my home now. Not I would like to call it my home, but this is my home. And like I said, as a player, we set targets for ourselves and we want to do good. And for me personally, I would like to build something good with Pyramids and just make it my own.
What has led to that in terms of, especially in the country, you not staying for a long time, regardless of what you sort of might have done on the pitch?
Can you repeat that?
I'm saying, do you think has contributed to that here in the PSL, you not being able to stay a long time? I mean, if you take away Santos, there hasn't been really a club where you've stayed for a long time and sort of enjoyed consistent spells.
Yeah, I think for me, at that time I was a bit younger, but I also had a lot of challenges with injuries, and I think that was one of the main reasons for me not being able to stay at some of the clubs because I was at some of the big clubs in South Africa. So I think being young and not having the challenges with injuries, it's always difficult to find your feet in clubs like this because they're always bringing new players and they have quality players. So I think that was one of the main challenges I had when I was back home. And adding to that, like since I've been at Pyramids, I didn't have many challenges with injuries, and I think now you can see that I've been playing more regularly and what I'm capable of if I get to play more.
What motivated your move to go to Egypt?
For me, growing up, I always wanted to go and play in Europe. It's still one of my dreams. But when the opportunity came from Pyramids, I told myself, why not go outside to Egypt, and it's one step closer to Europe, and challenge yourself and build your way up. Yes.
I think for you, you were always touted at like this wonder kid. I mean, coming out from Manenberg, 15, 16 years old, playing in the first team. I think with Ikram Reyners at that time. You made your Bafana debut under, I think, Sheikh's also at 16. Was it frustrating that your career maybe didn't really go how you saw it in your head? Like, I mean, as a 16-year-old playing for Bafana, You're probably thinking, okay, I'll be playing away for Champions League at 21, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's very frustrating because obviously when growing up you set goals for yourself, and I think at that point in my career everything was going well for me. But unfortunately it didn't go the way I planned, but at the end of the day we believe the man above have a greater plan, and I think that is where I find my peace. Whatever is written for me will find me, obviously with me working hard. So I'm past that. I'm happy with where I'm at now in my career, and for me I can just continue to work hard and give my best. Yes.
Just to talk about football in Egypt. Earlier you told us about the standard, but for you, having grown here, being coached here, what aspect of the game, your game in particular, you feel that has improved a lot since you moved there?
I feel in Egypt it's more like a little bit more physical. So a lot of the teams that we play against is more defensive. So I would say one of the things that I improved since moving there is like playing with my back to goal, because I'm fast. I like to take the ball behind. This is my style of play. So since moving to Egypt, they close the space behind, and I have to come down more to play and be involved. So I think this is something that I improved and I had to adapt to when I moved to Egypt.
I watched, I think it was the first game, and the telepathy between you and Mayele. And do you feel more now playing off him? Because also he's also good with his runs too. You also benefit from that.
Yeah, Mayele is a good guy, really good guy, and a good player. And I think it's not been like a long time. It just came this season, but for me, I feel happy to work with him. He has his qualities and he's a good player, and obviously in order for us to make it work, we need to help each other and play with each other. And I think so far we've been doing well. We, in training, try to work on certain things, and so far I'm happy, and I'm happy to play with him. And
Did something happen in the Bafana squad that you were a regular call-up, coach was seemingly happy with you, and then all of a sudden I think there was an injury or something that you didn't come to a camp, and then all of a sudden after that you weren't called up again, and we spoke to him and he said no, you in the pecking order, and it was a bit strange because we know what level you're playing at and you were doing very well. Is there something that happened?
from my side, nothing. Like, I don't recall anything happening. I just remember, like you said, the last time when we had the camp, I was out injured, and after that I didn't go again. So I don't know. I would like to know. But as a player, I'm not someone to speak a lot. I believe instead of talking, I can only go out there and work hard and let what I do on the field talk for me. So yeah, that will not change. That's all I will do, and that's all that I can do. But I'm not here to say or whatever. Yeah.
Do you feel that the CAF Champions League exposure now will also work in your favor?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the biggest cup in Africa. So it's good exposure for any player to play in the Champions League. And also it's the best teams in Africa. So for me as a player and for us as a team, we're happy to play in the Champions League. And like they say, in order to test yourself, you have to test yourself against the best. So yeah. Thank you guys.